In the heart of New York City's glittering fine dining scene, where crystal chandeliers cast golden glows over tables laden with Michelin-starred delicacies, a smug millionaire thought he could flex his ego by humiliating a young server. But what happened next? Her comeback didn't just silence him, it shattered his world and rebuilt hers. Stick around because this tale of wit, resilience, and unexpected twists will leave you cheering. If you're hooked already, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more stories that prove karma is real and underdogs always rise. Now, let's dive in. Elena Rossi wiped the sweat from her brow as she navigated the bustling floor of La Bella Vita, one of Manhattan's most exclusive Italian restaurants. At 25, she was far from the glamorous life the patrons led. Born in a small village in Sicily, she'd immigrated to the U.S. as a teenager after her father's fishing boat business collapsed under mounting debts. Her mother had passed away from cancer when Elena was just 12, leaving her to care for her younger siblings while her dad drowned his sorrows in cheap wine. Elena's dreams of becoming a chef had been sidelined by the harsh reality of survival, working double shifts to send money home and pay for her night classes in culinary arts. The restaurant was her battlefield. Dressed in a crisp black uniform, she moved with quiet grace, her dark curls tied back, revealing eyes that held stories of hardship and hope. Customers came and went, celebrities, Wall Street tycoons, and tourists chasing authenticity. Most were polite, some generous with tips. But then there were the ones like him, Alexander Harrington, a self-made millionaire in tech, known for his sharp suits, sharper tongue, and a net worth that could buy small countries. Alexander strode in that fateful evening like he owned the place, which, in his mind, he might as well have. At 45, he'd built an empire from a garage startup, selling AI software to Fortune 500 companies. His life was a montage of private jets, yacht parties, and boardroom conquests. But beneath the veneer of success lurked insecurity. Orphaned young and raised in foster care, he'd clawed his way up, learning to weaponize intellect to mask his vulnerabilities. Tonight, he was dining alone, fresh from a deal that added another zero to his bank account. He craved validation, and what better way than to dazzle, or demean, with his superior knowledge. Elena approached his table with her usual warm smile. "Buonasera, signore. Welcome to La Bella Vita. May I start you with something to drink?" Alexander glanced up from his phone, his eyes narrowing as he sized her up. Her name tag read, Elena, and her slight accent betrayed her Italian roots. A smirk curled his lips. He'd spent a summer in Tuscany years ago, picking up just enough Italian to impress at parties. This was his chance to shine, and perhaps put this lowly server in her place. Why? Because in his world, power was a game, and he always won. "Ah, buonasera," he replied in exaggerated Italian, leaning back with feigned nonchalance. "Vorrei iniziare con un bicchiere di Barolo del 96, per favor. E per antipasto, portami I carciofi alla romana, ma assicurati che siano fatti con olio extravergine di oliva toscano autentico, non quella robaccia americana. Capisci?" Elena blinked, processing his order. It wasn't the Italian that threw her, it was flawless, if a bit pompous. But his tone dripped with condescension, as if he expected her to fumble, to prove she was beneath him. The restaurant sommelier handled wine, but she noted it down anyway. "Certo, signore. Un Barolo del 96 e carciofi alla romana con olio toscano. Altro?" He chuckled, loud enough for nearby tables to turn. "Oh, you understood that? Brava. I figured I'd have to switch to English for the help around here. You know, not everyone can keep up with proper Italian. Where'd you learn? Some app? Or are you just pretending?" The word stung like a slap. Elena's cheeks flushed, but she held her composure. Memories flooded back, the village kids mocking her family's poverty, the American classmates who called her fresh off the boat. She'd fought tooth and nail to belong, studying English late into the night while flipping burgers. But this man? He was no different from the bullies of her past, richer, maybe, but just as insecure. The kitchen buzzed with energy as she relayed the order. Chef Marco, a burly Neapolitan with a heart of gold, noticed her tension. "Everything okay, Elena? That guy's got a face like he swallowed a lemon." "He's trying to show off," she muttered, plating appetizers for another table. But inside, anger simmered. Why did people like him think money bought respect? Her father had taught her, la vera intelligenza è nel cuore, non nelle parole. True intelligence is in the heart, not words. Back at the table, Alexander's wine arrived. He swirled it dramatically, sniffing before sipping. "Not bad," he conceded, then waved Elena over. "Now, for the main course. Dimmi, qual è la specialità della casa? Ma descriverla in italiano, eh? Let's see if you can handle it without stumbling." Elena's patience cracked. The restaurant was packed, her feet ached from hours on shift, and her little brother back home had just texted about needing school supplies she couldn't afford yet. This wasn't just an order, it was a test, a deliberate attempt to shame her. But she wasn't just a server, she was a survivor, a dreamer with fire in her veins. With a steady gaze, she replied in perfect, fluent Italian, her native tongue, after all. "La specialità della casa è l'ossobuco alla milanese, signore. E un taglio di vitello stufato lentamente con vino bianco, brodo, cipolle, carote e sedano, servito con risotto allo zafferano. Ma se permette, lo consiglio di provarlo con un tocco personal, un pizzico di gremolata fresca, prezzemolo, aglio e scorza di limone, per esaltare I sapori. E un piatto che ricorda lo radicai umili dell'Italia, dove il vero lusso non è nel prezzo, ma nell'amore con cui è preparato." Alexander's smirk faded. He hadn't expected fluency, let alone eloquence. "Wait, you're Italian? Like, actually from Italy?" "Sì, signore. Da Sicilia. Ho imparato l'inglese ma l'italiano è la mia madrelingua." She switched seamlessly to English. "And if I may, your accent is impressive for someone who learned it on vacation. But next time, perhaps order with kindness instead of trying to test the staff. We all have stories you know nothing about." The restaurant hushed. Nearby diners exchanged glances, some hiding smiles. Alexander's face turned beet red, his ego deflating like a punctured balloon. He stammered, I didn't mean to offend. I just thought. You thought you were smarter," Elena finished gently, but firmly. "But intelligence isn't about languages or money. It's about empathy. Enjoy your meal." She walked away, head high, but her heart pounded. Had she gone too far? Would she lose her job? Chef Marco pulled her aside in the kitchen. "That was brilliant, ragazza. I've wanted to say that to pricks like him for years." Word spread quickly. A couple at a nearby table, who turned out to be food bloggers, recorded the exchange discreetly and posted it online. By morning, the video went viral. Millionaire tries to humiliate Italian server, her epic clapback goes legendary. Alexander, back in his penthouse, watched the clip in horror. Shares skyrocketed, comments flooded in, "What a jerk. She's a queen." But amid the backlash, something stirred in him. He replayed her words, "We all have stories you know nothing about." For the first time in years, he reflected on his own past, the foster homes, the rejection, the drive to prove himself that had turned him bitter. The next day, he returned to La Bella Vita, not in arrogance, but humility. Elena tensed as he approached. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "You were right. I was an ass." Your response, "It destroyed my pretenses. Can we talk?" Over coffee after her shift, they shared stories. Alexander opened up about his lonely rise to wealth, how success had isolated him. Elena spoke of her struggles, losing her mom, supporting her family, chasing her culinary dreams despite setbacks. "I want to open my own restaurant someday," she confessed. Authentic Sicilian flavors, but affordable for everyone. Inspired, Alexander offered more than an apology. "Let me help. I have connections. Investors. Consider it reparations for my idiocy." Elena hesitated. Trust didn't come easy. But she saw sincerity in his eyes, a man seeking redemption. "Okay, but on my terms. No pity. Partnership." Months passed. With Alexander's backing, minus the strings, Elena launched Sicilian Heart, a cozy eatery blending tradition with innovation. Challenges arose: permit delays, supply chain hiccups, skeptical critics. Elena doubted herself during late nights perfecting recipes, tears mixing with dough. Alexander, facing his own boardroom battles, learned patience from her resilience. Their unlikely friendship deepened, platonic but profound, teaching him vulnerability. Opening night was magic. Locals packed the place, raving about the arancini and caponata. Alexander stood in the corner, watching Elena shine. The viral video had boosted her, but her talent sustained it. In the end, Elena's story wasn't just about destroying a millionaire's ego, it was about rebuilding lives. She hired immigrants like herself, offering second chances. Alexander started a foundation for foster kids, channeling his wealth into mentorship. As the credits roll on this tale, remember, true power lies in kindness, not conquest. No matter your background, your voice can change everything. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share your own comeback moments in the comments. Who knows? Yours might inspire the next viral legend.